Hello and welcome to the Tarkus Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be playing the game Meet Your Maker, and we're just going to go in and look at the board today, see what's going on with the numbers, see what bases or outposts that have been depleted. Okay, it looks like two of my outposts got depleted, and I've got three that are still up. I've got King of the Hill. That's always a fun one to have up. It's at 10.9 kill ratio, which I think is a fair kill ratio for the base. It got one brutal. I had 6 attempts on it, but it looks like I only got one accolade for it for those attempts. So obviously there were 5 people that felt that my base did not fall within any of the 4 buckets there. All right, and then we got the arena. The arena is really a kick in the nogger kind of thing. It's a tough one. It's got a 17 kill ratio, and I had 5 in there, separated instances of people, and as you can see, I got accolades for those, which is nice across the board. And then I've got Bayport. Now, Bayport is not a base that I've actually shown you a lot of. It's similar to the bird cage, but instead of going, it goes higher. It's got a steeper run going up to the Genmat. So it's really like it's not as steep as King of the Hill, but it's somewhat steep. The design's a lot different than King of the Hill. And the design inside is different than the bird cage, but it was kind of something that I put together with King of the Hill and the bird cage in mind. It's Bayport. Its kill ratio is 15.3. It went down 1.4. Now that I'm starting to get raiders for it, because before I got to Prestige 9, it had only 30, 20, it would have been 29 raiders. It had gotten 29 raiders total for up to Prestige 9. So now that the population has increased, I wanted people to enjoy the base. So, but it got 5 people or raiders, and they gave me no accolades. So I don't know what's going on with that. So all right. So let's go down and scroll down to the bases. Okay, so the bird cage here. This is the bird cage. It's at 11.8. It usually hovers around a 12 kill ratio. Always has been. Last night it got 156 kills. Had only 7 raiders go in. So out of the 7 raiders, it got a combined of 156 kills. And then people gave me accolades for that. So let's just go in there and turn it back on. Here we are. So we'll basically hit the escape button, go to Prestige. It costs 1,000 to move it from to just refill it, and then I'm just gonna activate it. There's nothing really I want to change. I want to keep its original setup, because it's the first base I ever made for this game. So being the first base I had ever made, it's still delivering some amazing outcomes with the basic trap placements that they gave us on day one. So it doesn't even have any of the new mods or augments or anything like that in there. It's the basic tools they gave us on day one the game released, and it's still shelling out kills. And at this point, it's at 5,041 kills. All right, so let's go look at the last one that went under. That had to be the Falls. Okay, yes, it was the Falls. Now, the Falls is around 12.5 right now. It usually hovers at the 12 mark. It always has. It's only had 189 total raiders, 5 raiders in it recently. Its kills is only 2,368. And out of the 5 raiders, only 1 gave me accolades. It is what it is. I enjoy this map. It's one of my favorite designs. It's got a couple different scenario situations in it. It's got let's just look at it real quick because it's the 5th one, so this video is not going to be that long. So it's got this hallway I created, this hallway that you got to go through, and it's got the the pistons here to slow you down. It's got a bouncing Betty there at the top, the bomb ejector, and then another bomb ejector coming at you. So you get into this area here, and then you get into a crossfire room. Now, the crossfire room has many mobs in it. You can see the hornets flying around up there. And what I've done is I've made it somewhat of a maze to get through this first room. You got to get, so that gets you through the first room. And it's just got a bunch of hornets flying around in this room. So if you're running through it, trying to speed run through, you can get past them. Then you get into this area here, and then you come up into this room here, which is just another box room with a bunch of hornets flying around. And then you just get up to the Genmat, which is right here. Now what I did here is these sentinels can be shot from the outside. If the person goes around the outside, they can shoot these sentinels, and then they don't have to deal with them when they get up here. But for this one cubby, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sentinels, and 3 of them can be shot from the outside and destroyed. But they're on auto destruct too. So if they run in here to grab the Genmat and think they think they're going to be safe, these are all on self-destruct. So I kind of given it the person the option to go outside and kill those first, and then go through the front. So it is it's similar to a lot of the maps that I've made, but the crossfire placements are different. Lots of hornets in this one. Lots of hornets that I have in this one. All right. So let's fill it up. And let's activate it. So now that's activated. All right, they want me to upgrade the base here, or the sanctuary. This is where you get a lot of pop-ups. I should activate this buff. You should always activate this boost if you're here. Gives you 4 at max. It gives you 4 hours, 18 minutes. But what's nice about it is when you first activate a base, it gets thrown in a lot of people's lobbies. So these two will see a lot of activity for the next couple hours, and then these guys are kind of weaning down. Like the King of the Hill is going to be going down shortly here. It's only got 865 left in it. So let's look at the actual run board here. This is the birdcage, 12 and pulled the ripcord, gave up. The arena, 9 and gave up. This is probably why I didn't see accolades, is because they gave up. I think we're seeing this all across the board here as we're going to scroll down here. So again, the arena, they died 6 times and gave up. This person died 11 times and gave up. And then this is the Bayport map that we were discussing that I just put into the rotation. The 3 and gave up. Bayport again, 5 and gave up. Back to the arena, 6 and gave up. Back to Bayport, 6 and gave up. That's probably why I did not see a lot of accolades, because if people are not having a good time or they're giving up, they're not, you would assume that they would give me at least a brutal, if they're giving up. And then we go back to the arena where this person died 8 times and got it. And then the arena, 3 and gave up. The arena, 10 and gave up. And this was the Bayport video I watched late last night, or at 4 a.m. this morning. It was I think it was the first run of it, and the person died 18 times and gave up. This is arena, died twice and got it. That's pretty good, Brian. You did a pretty good job there. And then Bayport, 3 and gave up. Arena, only died twice, duo pair, and got it. And then Arena, 7 and got it. And then the Falls, 4 and gave up. And I think that kind of puts us to late, around midnight last night. So as you can see, the bases are doing what they're supposed to be doing, but a lot of ripcord pulling, a lot of tap outs, a lot of people just giving up on them and not continuing. And I'm not going to dumb them down anymore. They're in the brutal category. People have been able to complete them without any issues. So what my guess here is, because of the 5-day free window that they gave people, I think what we're seeing is a lot of newer players coming on board, and they're maybe not as experienced, and they're taking advantage of the free play for the weekend because it is a Saturday. So that's what probably people did, was downloaded the game and then they playing this weekend or into the weekend, and they just a feeling that Tarkus's bases are a bit too tough for them, which is fine. They'll get better. Practice makes you better, right? So hopefully they buy the game, and then they can go and play other people's bases and do comparisons. Now my bases are designed to kill the most people. You know, that's how I design them. And as I have said in previous videos, and I'll say in this video, is I'm running the 5 most productive bases. Oh, I don't know about Bayport. But I am running at least 4 of the most productive bases that I ever made. And there are some bases in my designs down here, like the Hornet's Nest. That was at a 15 kill ratio. So, and I haven't even brought that to light yet. So that had 1,400 people die in it. This was the Hornet's Nest. And again, 15 kill ratio. And then I had Outpost Cheese, which was 11. Now, Happy Town was another base that I really enjoy. Oh, this was the Fun House. This was the one that I did was it the 40-minute video on my YouTube channel? I built this entire base in 40 minutes, and it has an 11 kill ratio. It was called the Fun House. I called it the Fun House. Now, Happy Town, I think, is further. This is Happy Town here. So Happy Town is an enjoyable map that I like, and I might bring it back up to light. It only had a 9.2, and I liked it because it was fun. It was a fun base, 36 funds, 48 brutals for that base. So I've got a large selection of bases that I just can continue running. The way they've made it now, there's really no point making new bases. I no longer need to buy a new burial ground because there's no need for it. I have so many burial grounds that are like at level 1 that I had bought, thinking that I was going to need them because of the way the system worked. You only could get so many days out of it and you were done. But now you can just go forever. So there's no real point to me building from scratch when I have very effective bases. I imagine the bases will start getting lower volumes as people do them, because I don't believe they'll come up on people's lobbies. So eventually, maybe 6 months from now, I'll see no activity because they've been in everybody's lobbies, everybody's done them. And at that point, I'll be forced to go into making new bases because I can't get any activity on my bases because they don't roll into anybody's lobbies anymore because they've been done by people already. Or people have just abandoned them and moved on and got them out of their lobby. So I think that's where you'll get into needing to build more bases in the future when the game, the population of players have already done your stuff and they won't see them again in their lobby. All right, well, thank you for joining me this morning, and this has been the Tarkus Zone.